my luck again.
Consider. Assess. Implore. Surrender.
Subdued at last, it begs for its life.
Spare me. Join me.
It pleads.
The brain is on the cusp of its final thought, and it's taking all of the Emperor's strength to keep it there. An opportunity, perhaps.
What are you doing? Stop!
Together. Conquer. Rule. Command!
In my name.
The world is yours. All who still draw breath bow to you. Your authority is unmatched. Your power is absolute.
So much power. No one can resist you now. But what comes next?
You have come so far. Once you wished for nothing more than to survive. But now your dreams are far grander. By your hand alone, the future of all things shall be determined. Or so it would have been, had you not indulged too often in the power that the Illithids provided. Now the scales demand to be balanced. Ceramorphosis beckons. Or so it would have been, had you not indulged too often in the power that the Illithids provided. Now the scales demand to be balanced. Luckily, the Illithid powers were but one aspect of your might. You remain in control, now and always. Time to exercise your will. This is but the first conquest. Every realm shall quake at your power. Every tongue shall speak your name in awe. Every god shall perish in your shadow. This world is yours. Now for the rest. Luckily, the illithid powers were but one aspect of your might. You remain in control, now and always. Time to exercise your will. You could easily rule through fear, but just as easily through love. Through contentment. Through sheer mindless bliss. Thanks to you, Savior of the world. Luckily, the illithid powers were but one aspect of your might. You remain in control, now and always. Time to exercise your will. Luckily, the Illithid powers were but one aspect of your might. You remain in control, now and always. Time to exercise your will. This was always to be their fate. You just gave them the final nudge they needed. By the time the wailing fades and ashes cool, you will be long gone. A shared nightmare amongst those unfortunate enough to survive.
Subdued at last.
Spare me.
It pleads.
The brain is on the cusp of its final thought, and it's taking all of the Emperor's strength to keep it there. An opportunity, perhaps.
I admire the ambition. The thought did cross my mind. But whoever becomes the Absolute faces a war with the entire Githyanki army. Strong as we are, they are legion. I cannot be sure of survival. Your faith in our bond is touching. But we did not come this far, only to lose the fight for our survival at the final hurdle. The brain will die. We will have our freedom.
My master. I must obey. I must end.
Hopes, nightmares, and the screams of legions upon legions of unborn illithids. The pain rips through you, obliterating all thought, all feeling. Your tadpole burns in your brain. Silence. For the first time in a long time, your thoughts are entirely your own. And then, gravity. Everything you did, everything you sacrificed, it was worth it. For this.
The loss of a mind is a terrible thing. But this time, I think I'll make an exception.
We did it. The Netherbrain is dead.
Against all odds, we cured ourselves. Free from the parasite. Free from the prospect of seromorphosis. I can hardly believe it. We will not become accursed Illithids.
Not to cast any slight on you, of course. Your form rather suits you.
It makes little difference to me. I did what I had to secure my freedom. And in spite of your resistance to completing your evolution, you have proved a good ally.
That's a pleasant sight. Here's hoping they stay in their own plane.
With the Githyanki gone, there's nothing left but the silence of the city. Smouldering, waiting to be rebuilt. But it seems that Gale's mind is elsewhere.
What is it, wizard? Huh? There will be plenty to furrow our brows over in the morning. Why not take a break?
The crown. It's somewhere in the Chiontha. If I salvage the stones, I can reforge it. With the crown in my hands, I would be unstoppable. The casts I weave would be mine to command. I would be more than the greatest wizard who ever lived. I would be a god. Want, need, deserve. Choose whatever word you prefer. But it is what I'm going to do.
Mystra has dictated the terms of my potential for long enough. The crown would grant me control of my own destiny at last. Think of all I could achieve. All that I could grant to those whose ambitions are restrained by Mystra's yoke. I could raise a new Netheril, right here in Faerun.
That day cannot come soon enough. But first, I must retrieve the crown. Have patience a while, and I will return to you, carrying immortality in one hand and offering you ascension with the other. I will be a god, as will you.
Another low mortal grasping at godhood. Perhaps he will manage it and be everything he promises. Perhaps not. Better for the world not to find out at all, I think. And certainly better for Gale that Mystra does not. But he set himself on his path. We have our own next steps to think on.
So, what comes next?
Is this our final parting then? Please, reconsider. Alone you are a storm, but together we are a tempest.
A lot of people died, so we could get to this moment. Let's go find somewhere to offer them a toast.
We did it, soldier. The city's going to be all right. And so are you. Engine's finally cooked. Held on just long enough. So, how'd I do? So are you. My friend. My companion. I adore you. Careful! Hot! I never gave up. I did my best. I did my best. That's the one thing I can't beat, isn't it? I wanted to live in my city with my friends. But life is for the living. And I thought... Goodbye, son. Goodbye, sea. Goodbye. I'm ready. I stand back. I'm going to...
It's over. And it's all because of you. You, who were destined to become a thrall. Thanks to you, there will be no Illithid empire, no death god's tyranny. You have earned your place amongst the legends of the Sword Coast. You are the saviors of Baldur's Gate.
I was afraid for the briefest moment when I woke this morning. I didn't know where I was. I thought perhaps it had all been a dream, stopping the Absolute, saving my parents. Then I realized I was in your arms. We did it. Everything's perfect. Almost, anyway. I didn't mean it like that. After everything that happened, with my parents, with Shah, I didn't think I was owed any happiness. I did things. Things that fill me with shame now. There's at least one person who doesn't want me happy. Shah. I felt the wound last night, while you were sleeping. Like some sadistic child de-winging a fly. She can try to twist the knife all she likes. I know I can survive her worst. Nothing she does can sour the fact that I have my family again. You're right. I can always rely on you to say the right thing. It's not an exciting life that I lead, but I'd like you to be a part of it. I doubt I'd have anything at all if it wasn't for you. I'm hoping to find some place I can settle down and stay close to my parents. Somewhere quiet, where they can find peace and gaze at the night sky. If that sounds at all appealing, then I'll keep a spot for you. It'll be just like old times.
Six months have passed since you defeated the Netherbrain. And since then, you have seen more of life than you ever thought possible. You are greeted as a savior, a champion, a hero. But sometimes you feel like something else entirely. An adventurer, a traveler, a survivor. You faced down the gods. You thwarted the grand design. Anything seems possible. But before you can write the next chapter of your story, you must end this one.
Thou wert called here, some from above, some below. For with thine bond, together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight, fate renews thy bond once more. Thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon, wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
The material plane.
There you are.
I'm keeping us all on tempo so you can make a dramatic entrance.
Now there's a ditty worthy of a new slap.
I hoped I'd see you here. I imagine this must be quite a shock. Whatever you're feeling, do not be afraid. It's still me, just an improved version. Forget you? Never. I'm afraid time works quite differently in Elysium. I didn't realize how long I'd been gone until I received Wither's summons. I imagine you're wondering how all this came to be. The finer points of divine ascension are beyond mortal comprehension, I'm afraid, but I can provide a rudimentary sequence of events. First, I retrieved the crown of Karsus and reforged it using a series of precise and highly complex Netherese incantations. Then, I used it. As you know, the orb within me was the half-formed Karsite Weaver, magic left incomplete by Karsus' self-destruction. I finished it. Using the crown of Karsus, I turned it into a new form of magic, fused with my being, driven by my purpose. And then I put it to work. As expected, Mystra was unwilling to hand over the reins of the weave, so I've claimed dominion over another area which I've passing familiarity. Ambition. Mortals and their jokes. I did think to bless the heavens with my own inimitable wit, but, alas, most gods are rather devoid of humor. Great as the heights I've reached thus far may be, I've not forgotten my humble origins. In fact, they're central to my doctrine. Those drawn to the Galarian Creator merely seek my guidance as the impressive, all-powerful being I've become. Ambition is about beginnings. It's not just about the heights, but the lows that preceded them. I was nothing. A drifting dust mote of a wizard, abandoned by my goddess, my powers lost, my reputation destroyed. And look at me now. I'm their proof. Proof their hopes are not barren wastes, but the loamy soil in which their future achievements will flourish. Proof that with ambition, anything is possible. Ao would prefer to let the cosmic dust settle from my unexpected ascension before considering my right to grant my followers such power. I'm sure it'll come around in a millennium or so, and by then my creed will be something to reckon with. There are already several shrines in my honor scattered across the outer reaches of Fae, and rumors of a very prominent temple under construction in Arm. This is only the beginning. I see you won't be claiming the domain of patience in the heavens. All in good time, my love. For now, mortality has one more night of enjoyment in store.
This is nice. A little tame compared to all of my parties, but it has a quaint charm.
I didn't expect to be nervous. But seeing everyone here like this, it's strange, isn't it? I feel like I must have dreamed the last few months. Now I'm waking up back in camp with my hair smelling like wood smoke and fallen leaves stuck to my backside. Oh, I've noticed. Ever since I first slipped into my camp garments, I should think. I hope we won't seem terribly boring to everyone when they ask what we've been doing this past while. A cottage in the countryside. They may have been expecting something more... well, more. True. They might even be jealous of the bucolic life. Perhaps every adventurer secretly pines for a little flower-strewn cottage overrun with animals. Stop it, you. We'll be back before you know it. Tonight, let's just enjoy ourselves. Catch up with old friends. It's fine. Already passed. Shal must have sensed I was enjoying myself. You'll seize any opportunity, won't you? But I suppose I've been giving you plenty of encouragement. Why, I feel better already. Are you trying to make me sleepy? You know how easily I get lost in your arms. Have fun. Just don't wear yourself out too quickly. I'm anticipating a long night ahead of us.
And don't you forget it.
Friend? Friend! You came! Big Brother Scratch, too! Happy. Yes. Miss this. More. Yes. Big. But Scratch is smart. Teaches me many things. Like Big Brother. Lots. Make friends with a turtle, a cat, a kraken. Kraken eats my cat friend, so I bite, kill. With shiny clothes, I am strong. Tired now. Want sleep. Want cave. Nice lady. She gives pets and tasty things. I like her. I go to her.
Starting to wonder if you'd show up. Hilarious. You could find work as a jester if you stumble upon a noble with more gold than taste. Oh, come here, will you? It's been forever. You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camping and scrounging off the land, I take it. Filled out and healthy is what I was going for. Don't tell me you miss living off whatever scraps we found in crates and barrels. I'm glad you seem well. Truly. Oh, hells, what? Not another adventure, is it? I'm quite content with my semi-retirement. The owlbear. Of course I'll have him. If he wants to come with me, that is. I'd have offered sooner, but everything was a blur after the battle. I thought he'd gone to roam free. I'll have to find somewhere for him to sleep, of course. He'd get stuck in the door of my cottage. Maybe the barn. It's as warm as anywhere, as long as he gets along with the other animals. Well, now I'm going to have to do that, aren't I? You're a bad influence, you know. I can picture the look on my parents' faces already. Oh, before you go, how does a red dragon plan their day? They don't. They just wing it. Sorry. My father's got years of terrible jokes stocked up that he never got to tell me when I was younger, but lucky for him, I've never heard them. And seemingly, I am easily amused. As if you'd have me any other way. Go on, you've got mingling to do. I'll work on my punchlines some more.
The day I pray to you, Gale, is the day is right, and Tressem's a
Friend? Big Brother Scratch, too! Happy. Yes. Miss this. Yes. Miss this. More. Lots tired now. Want sleep. Want cave. Yes.
Forgotten what it's like.
I expect there have been other reunions to which I was not.
Enjoying yourself, I hope. Oh, let's make tonight count. The only regrets I want to hear about come morning should revolve around an excess of carousing and questionable dancing. Oh, did you now? Come on then, out with it. The owlbear! Of course he can come with us! I always regretted we didn't extend the offer after the battle. It was all such a blur. We'll have to find somewhere for him to sleep, of course. He'd get stuck in the door of the cottage. Maybe the barn. It's as warm as anywhere, as long as he gets along with the other animals. I suppose you're right. He's come a long way since he first wandered into our camp. We all have. I can picture the look on my parents' faces already.
Thou feelst it still. She is not here. She who was the boldest. Hast thy thoughts been with brave Karlach often? Correct. Not in planes material, elemental, not transitive can her like be found. In but 10 days, an entire life was lived. More than mortal years. Mortal centuries were hers. Thy band, thy bond, gave that life to her. Now thou speakest like me. Thou hast wisdom, after all. In the fugue plain, her soul burns so bright, it pains the gods to look upon. Recall that in time all changeth and all is rejoined. Thou shalt be with her again. What indeed? Prick up thy ears and listen. The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready, for thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving. To you.
So, it's time for me to return to the heavens. The question is, do you wish to go with me? To become a god at my side? That is for you to decide, my love. Ambition made me what I am. What drives you, we have yet to discover. Your domain will come to you as you settle into divinity. I can't wait to see what you'll become. Then follow my lead. Close your eyes. How do you feel? And that's just the beginning. I have so much more to show you.
There thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy act.
So, it's time for me to return to the heavens. The question is, do you wish to go with me? To become a god at my side? You aren't. That's disappointing. Then this is goodbye, I suppose. You may not wish to enter the heavens, but you do a fine job conjuring them here.
There thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou soughtst to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools. Everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals. I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.
I would be more than the greatest wizard who ever lived. I would be a god. Why should I?
Mystra has dictated the terms of my potential for long enough. The crown would grant me control of my own destiny at last. Think of all I could achieve. All that I could grant to those whose ambitions are restrained by Mystra's yoke. I could raise a new Netheril, right here in Faerun. It seems that we've come to an impasse. I stand on the threshold of divine ascension, and you would try to keep me grounded. It's not your fault. I can hardly expect you to understand. But nor will I relinquish this chance because you're unwilling to imagine a world where I succeed. Ah, I will never forget you. That much I promise. And if one day you feel differently, I will be honored to have you as my chosen.
And all to impress a former lover. Gale should do as Minsk did and stop at the face tattoo. Mystra no longer wishes to share his bed. Boo doubts she will wish to share the mastery of all magic with him instead. But let the wizard wet his robes in the river, if that is his wish.
So, what now? I don't know about you, but I could use a flagon, or 3 of ale.
Why bother? Let Baldur's Gate wear its scars proudly. Until the next crisis wipes it from the world entirely.
I will not be joining you. I fear my presence will be no more welcome in the streets of the city than it ever was.
Walk safely into the dark. You were truly tentacular.
I will miss you, too.
Now that you no longer live in each other's minds, it's hard to tell if the Mind Flayer is being sincere, though perhaps no harder than it ever was.
Whatever the next step, the path will still be there come morn. There is no harm in taking a moment to honor the fallen. Then, quite honestly, to sleep.
We did it, soldier. The city's going to be all right. So, how'd I do? You can't. All right. But we have to go. Now. I can't hang on much longer.
It's over. And you, who were destined, thanks to you, there will be no Illithid Empire, no Death God's tyranny. You have earned your place amongst the... You are the saviors of...
Well, soldier. Here we are. It worked. My engines calmed down. I shouldn't have let you come here. This isn't going to be easy, you know. Zariel's going to come at us with everything she's got. Gods. Like clockwork. They'll be on us soon. But there's just enough time. Thought I was done with these. But then, there was you. Imps are fast, but careless. Don't let them tire you out. Just get rid of them. And don't forget, you asked for this. Better let these fuckers know I'm back. And this time, I'm not alone.
Six months have passed since you defeated the Netherbrain. And since then, you have seen more of life than you ever thought possible. You are greeted as a savior, a champion, a hero. But sometimes you feel like something else entirely. An adventurer, a traveler, a survivor. You faced down the gods. You thwarted the Grand Dessert. Before you can write the next chapter of your story, you must end this one.
Remember the last time I heard the ballad of the endless
Keeping us all on tenterhooks so you can make a dramatic
Now there's a ditty worthy of a knee slap.
Aha!
I hoped I'd see you here. I imagine this must be quite a shock. Whatever you're feeling, do not be afraid. Still me, just an improved version. I told you I would, didn't I? I imagine first, as you know, as expected, Mystra was unwilling to hand over. I offer them nothing. I inspire them to seize their destinies for themselves. Great, those ambitions. I was nothing. A drifting dust mote of a wizard, abandoned by my goddess, my powers lost, my reputation destroyed. And look at me now. I'm their proof. Proof their hopes are not barren wastes, but the loamy soil in which their future achievements... Hardly. I'm simply more honest about my involvement. Not to say I don't help more actively when the cause arises. A whisper in the ear of a struggling artisan. A breeze to flutter the pages of a tome before a frustrated mage. A magical weapon stumbled upon by a desperate would-be hero. I am ambition incarnate. As indistinguishable from that most potent sensation as Mystra herself is from the weave. And word is spreading. There are already several shrines in my honor scattered across the outer reaches of Fae, and rumors of a very prominent temple under construction in Arm. This is only the beginning. I see you won't be claiming the domain of patience in the heavens. All in good time, my love. For now, mortality has one more night of enjoyment in store.
starting to wonder if you'd show up. Likewise. And I'm glad at least one of us was confident in your return. It hasn't always been easy, wondering if something might have happened to you and Karlak in that place. But perhaps I should have known better than to doubt. It is you we're talking about, after all. Come here, will you? You feel a little more substantial than before. Less camping and scrounging off the land, I take it? I suppose I do, don't I? It's good to see you again. Even if only for a short while. I was starting to think you'd never ask. That was more than worth the wait. Oh, before you go, how does a red dragon plan their day? They don't. They just wing it. Sorry. My father's got years of terrible jokes stocked up that he never got to tell me when I was younger, but lucky for him, I've never heard them. And seemingly, I am easily amused. I know. I would have been an open book to you in no time. But don't pretend you didn't like the mystery. Go on. You've got mingling to do. I'll work on my punchlines some more.
There you are. I was hoping you'd make your way over.
Secrets.
It smells so good here!
Do my eyes deceive me? The gang really is all here.
I could eat a beholder. What's cooking?
The day I prayed.
Oh, Commander Zula won't know where the fuck we went! Oh, man, I can't wait to say hi to everyone. Look at them, the beauts. Rest up, soldier. My tin can will be all right for the night. And you and me will get to sleep with both eyes shut for the first time in 6 months. Every time. Here, here. Enjoy it, soldier. You've earned it. She's got a knight in her, I think. Any trouble and I'll toddle back off to hell quick as you please. Oh, hey. Before you go, I've been thinking about those blueprints we found. Zariel's probably got a load of Cambions guarding that forge. I'm sure she knows I'll want in. She'll do anything to stop me from fixing this thing. I might have an in with one of the guards, though. An old acquaintance called Flo. We might get to come home. Permanently.
I expect there have been other reunions to which I would... So, here we are. A gathering of allies at a cold campsite with no servants to attend us and few luxuries to enjoy. Ah, we could have been conquerors. We could have ruled these realms as gods. Do you ever regret that we did not take control of the Netherbrain? True. But what better revenge could there be than enslaving the abomination that was the author of my torment? I shall not dwell on the past, though. The future is unwritten and rich with possibilities. I feared that returning to the Underdark as an apostate of Lolth would be an act of madness. Perhaps it was. If so, it is a madness that fits me well. Rebels swarm to my cause, and even if it takes centuries, I will reclaim my house in Menzoberranzan. And make the Spider Queen bleed. Naturally. A fledgling god is of little use where my plans are concerned. You may observe my works if you lack sufficient occupations of your own, but do not interfere. Unless you wish to learn how fleeting divinity can be. I expect there have been other reunions to which I was not invited.
To be a god among men.
Not one juicy secret to be heard. Such a pity. Wither certainly knows his wine. Or resurrected and...
A night without care. No worry, no obligation. It's been too long.
A familiar sight. Scratch can't quite speak around the thing he has in his mouth.
I found this. It smelled like you, so I kept it. Seemed like something you might like to throw. Oh, I've got a nice home in the city now. A girl named Mindy says I'm her best friend. She's mine too. Also you and Albert. I've got so many best friends, I hardly know who to play with. I certainly have, and I always will. Forever, I think. And so will you.
Perhaps I should stretch my wings again.
Friend? Friend! Big brother Scratch, too! Happy. Withers? No. You smell very delicious. Follow smell, find you. Yes. Miss this. More. Lots. Make friends with a turtle, a cat, a kraken. Kraken eats my cat friend. Tired now. Want sleep. Want cave. Bear man? He is big, but not bigger than me. I like him. I go to him.
Oh, I simply must have this one. It's practically sanguine.
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now, our paths cross once more. We have all pined for each. That bond was forged in a crucible. I know it can. For I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day. I always do. Should I ever decline, assume a doppelganger has taken my place. That was more than worth the wait. Rest assured. Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing. In that case, our community group, the old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes. And the land is rich with harvests and bounty. It is. We welcome folk from all walks of life. Anyone who wishes for... You are... Now, please, tell me their appetite for... They have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need... You would ask to be tucked in next. But whatever the intrepid adventurer needed, I would have been glad to provide. More than a few, I should think. I am all ears. Though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image. You have... I shall be able to keep... Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself for the evening, as much as I would like to. I shall leave you to the others for now, unless there was anything else. Do you truly even need to ask? Of course. Who could not open their home to a befeathered hero of Baldur's Gate? Ah, and I did promise the children I would bring them back a surprise. Oh, imagine their faces. Quite often. They come and go as they please, but with so many playmates to avail of, they are far from strangers. They ask after you often. What you did for them will never be forgotten. To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods, as far as I'm concerned. I spend half my days in ursine form. As for roaming, that impulse has dwindled, I must admit. As did I, but somehow I feel like I no longer need... Amazing what can be discovered about oneself, on occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence. Of course. If only we could stay like that forever. Before you go, I have something for you. Just a little keepsake, really. Do you remember how I told you I like to whittle? I made this. Ducks are my favorite, but I thought they were particularly fitting in this case. They are migratory birds, of course, traveling far and wide with the turn of the seasons. Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just like old friends find themselves back in each other's company. No, it's wooden. I suppose it burns if you find yourself in dire need of kindling, but I hope it does not come to that. Just a token to remember me by. Now, I've taken up enough.
Left the table, so this is still the first.
Kill the glass of lava wine.
Without care. No worry, no obligation.
Hello again.
Too long.
Beautiful.
Oh, boy! Is it lovely to sniff you again? You always know just how to do it. Do you even have to ask?
The only thing I fear is the ever-growing size of your ego.
Taste of sun-fed plants.
Oh, Tara. It hurts to be so misunderstood by my oldest friend.
I would kill for a glass of Ulava wine.
Here, pour some in your cheek. Better than Ventus prison buried it up.
A gathering of heroes. A fine target for our enemies.
I wasn't sold at first, but the forest is rather good for a get-together.
Kill for a glass of Ulava wine.
Perhaps the bard knows some of my favorites. Unless my taste in music is too antique, of course.
Wither certainly knows his wine. Or resurrected an excellent sommelier.
The day I pray to you, Gale.
Good song, good company, good wine. I wish it could last forever.
So very stubborn.
And don't you forget it.
Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite my invitation getting lost in the post. Oh, you might help me with the title, though. I'm considering... perhaps... but you...
You
Perhaps I should stretch my wings again. Who knows what people are gossiping about?
Oh, I would kill for a glass of lava wine.
Withers has a keen eye for a nice vintage. Why were we
I
scrounging
expect
in
there
barrels
have
and crates
been
for
other
supplies when he could
reunions to
store
which I was not invited.
God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf
Does
of
no one here
bread
get
just
drunk
to get
and
by.
spill secrets? Oh, I simply must have this one. It's...
No way to run a business, I say. Can't even browse while he's with a client.
trying.
Can't even catch my breath.
Creator, destroyer.
Sometimes the only way out is through.
All right, Murphy, 5 more minutes and your punishment is over.
I speak, they burn.
Imperativi.
Seems simple enough. Lovely little Pegbear. Can't keep me out.
Is growing in power.
Still me, even after everything.
Arabella seems not to notice you as you approach. She's as intent on examining a peculiar stone as she is unbothered by the corpses littered on the ground.
Arabella?
Hey! I had a feeling you'd show up. It's sort of our thing, like it's fate or something. Check out the... It's magic. Incredible, right?
You are flooded with memories of the distant past. Creatures slain, lovers reunited, spells crackling through the air. The stone holds records of all who have passed by it. Arabella is collecting them. It's as natural as breathing for her.
And I've only scratched the surface. I want to know everything. Bone Man was right. The weave will take care of me. I just need to listen. Bandits came at me with daggers. They didn't know who they were messing with. Yep, and I like it that way. Bone Man told me to follow the weave, to let it guide me. I've learnt a lot thanks to him, and I'm still learning. Don't worry about me, I'll be just fine. I'll see you soon enough. Bone Man said so.
We see, we know.
What are we supposed to be doing?
What's your... Cousin says we will take you... you... leaving only me to conduct Saren's rites. And my cousins.
What's the name of that river down there?
Wizard called it the Sewer. Slave to anyone.
Sense watchful up.